Hello, Rainbow Snatch. Because this pussycat grabs back. Okay.
I can't handle that. And then all of a sudden this, media press guy comes up and starts trying to videotape me. So I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, okay? All I'm trying to do is protest and show the vehicles going by. So I get out and I'm ready to go save the world.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
That's the thing. Women don't have equal rights. We don't have equal rights ever since since the beginning of the creation.
Darling, that's not true. Anywhere else.
Excuse me. Do not call me by, the word darling.
You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. You're a bigot. You're a fascist. You're a fascist.
I have to be honest, mate, that's a pretty accurate depiction of a fucking feminist, mate. So, quickly before this video starts, I want to give one of you guys a shout out for hitting that notification button yesterday, mate. Today's notification shout out goes to that Killer Panda. Thanks, bro. Thanks for hitting that bell button. If you guys want a shout out in tomorrow's video, make sure to smash that bell button and leave a comment down below saying angry SJW/feminist, and I'll give one of you a shout out in tomorrow's video. And also, if you want to piss off a feminist today, which I'm fucking sure you do, then smash that like button. Believe me, mate, it works and it's fucking free. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video.
Latinos here in this country that do agree that the immigration problem is a problem and it does need to be addressed and it does need to be fixed.
Interesting.
But making those comments, those racist comments, do not help.
And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, chest. I can't breathe. Oh, shit, my chest is going.
No.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? When I'm saying
there's more jobs to be
in LA, they always
but they Latinos are not only the only people
I didn't mean it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that. Okay. I'm not part of this argument with...
I think what you're saying is that Trump himself
needs to look
probably relies on a lot of these people that he's insulting.
So do you agree with Malcolm X that white people should be killed? Is that why you're here?
You damn right I do.
You do?
You think I'm scared to say that to you?
You think white people should be killed, huh?
You thought we should be killed when y'all came and stole us from Africa and put us in chains and murdered us for over 400 years. So yeah, you do need to die. I think everybody else on the planet will have peace when you're dead.
Are you responsible for what your parents did?
Listen, I'm talking for me. I answered your question.
All right.
Now I'm done talking because I don't negotiate with fucking terrorists. I think you should go back to those caves that you crawled out of in the Caucasus Mountains, because you can't leave black and brown people alone. We can't have any peace on the planet because of white supremacy and white existence. So yeah, fucking die or go back to the caves. Not scared to say it.
Okay then.
Says the premise of the lecture stated all white people are racists. News Channel 4's Kristen Shanahan has this exclusive story for us tonight. And Kristen, a student recorded the bold words, we understand.
Kevin, she used her cell phone to do it. When she told her parents, they were in disbelief and took their concerns straight to the school. The family is speaking out because they want you to know what took place in a Norman North classroom. We didn't show their faces and change their voices in order to protect the students' identity.
You can visit them, reclaim them, and then rename them.
This video caused a Norman North student to pull out her cell phone and start recording.
And he pulls out this globe with a bottle of whiteout and marks over a country or a piece of a country and puts his name on it. So he was basically comparing what he had done to the globe to what we did to America.
When the video was over, she says her teacher continued the conversation and lecturing on how to heal the racial divide. His theories stunned the student.
To be white is to be racist. Period.
She says she was instantly offended.
Half of my family is Hispanic, so I just felt like, him calling me racist just because I'm white. I mean, where's your proof in that?
The words that followed even more shocking to her.
Am I racist? And I say, yeah. I don't want to be. It's not like I choose to be racist. But do I do things because of the way I was raised?
I felt like he was encouraging people to kind of pick on people for being white.
Why is it okay to demonize one race to children that you're supposed to be teaching a curriculum to.
Norman Public Schools says the teacher was sharing a perspective that had been shared at a university. In a statement, the superintendent said, "Racism is an important topic that we discuss in our schools. We regret that the discussion was poorly handled. When the district was notified of this concern, it was immediately addressed."
You start telling someone something over and over again that's an opinion, and they start taking it as fact. So I wanted him to apologize and make it obvious and apparent to everyone that that was his opinion.
I reached out to the teacher by email, but haven't heard back from him yet.
Jackie, can I just interrupt? Did you say to the advocate in Tasmania that we should follow Donald Trump's example by deporting all Muslims who support Sharia law?
Yep, that's correct. Anybody that supports Sharia law in this country should be deported.
So do you know what Sharia law is?
Yes, but it does not have
do you know
rights.
what it is?
Me praying five Sharia law?
Of course, me praying 5 times a day is Sharia.
Okay.
Right? Like basic.
What about the equal rights for women? What about
that is completely separate from Islam.
So now you can be a Sharia law supporter and be half pregnant at the same time.
What are you talking about? You were talking about stuff you don't know anything about. Like, okay, I'm not going to attack you personally. But my frustration is that people talk about Islam without knowing anything about it, and they're willing to completely negate any of my rights as a human being, as a woman, as a person with agency, simply because they have an idea about what my faith is about. Excuse me, Islam to me is the most feminist religion, right? We got equal rights well before the Europeans. We don't take our husbands' last names because we ain't their property. Right? We were given the right to own land. We the fact is, what is culture is separate from what is faith. And the fact that people go around dissing my faith without knowing anything about it and want to chuck me out of a country I have done, and Muslims. The fact is, Jackie, I agree.
The fact is, we have one law in this country, and it is the Australian law.
In Islam,
it is not Sharia law.
In Islam,
not in this country.
Do you know what
not in my day?
In Sharia, it says you follow the law of the land on which you are on. It says in Islam that you follow the law of the land on which you are on.
You tell me that.
Jackie,
that is not my religion.
Can I just say that shouting at each other is not going to help?
That is true.
So please stop. I just want to ask you, let me go to, I'm saying that to both of you if you wouldn't mind. Now, let's just go to Donald Trump was mentioned, and obviously he's redefining the rules around immigration in the United States, at least temporarily at this stage. You got caught up in that. Are you still caught up in it as a dual Sudanese Australian citizen?
So I was born in Sudan. I moved to Brisbane when I was a year and a half. And apparently because I was born in Sudan, I might be a terrorist. I was caught up in that because of the fact that I was born in Sudan. Despite the fact that I grew up in this country, I know no other real culture than Australian, really, because Australian is who I am. And I think the fact is that Donald Trump is changing a whole bunch of things. And the fact that we're normalising the kind of discussions and the kind of rhetoric that Donald Trump uses frightens me, right? It deeply makes me scared because, Jackie, you talk about, and I apologise for yelling because that is unbecoming of a lady. You talk about protecting Australians. Well, I am Australian. I have gone around the world talking about how much I love Australia. Just wait, right? And so it hurts me deeply, right, when my elected representatives don't want to have me in this country simply because of my faith or because of where I was born. And I think this kind of rhetoric is what we saw pre-World War II. We saw it in the 30s, the same kind of othering. They are different, they're not like us, they do stuff that we don't accept. I back you 100%. We should look after people that are vulnerable in this country. I will back you to the hilt on that. But that is not mutually exclusive to being generous to those that are coming in.
Okay, now, Jackie, let's hear from you. And let me just put this to you. Do you accept that some of the things you say can come across as being quite hateful to others?
To a minority. Well, if that's a minority, but this is for the majority. This is what
but, I mean,
one of the
Oh, girl!
Want to feel safe, be safe, and Donald Trump If he wants to put that and put those on hold for 3 months, he has every right to do so until he can work out exactly what is going on. If that's going to keep America safer, just like it's going to keep Australia. So you know what? Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. We've had enough. Stop playing the victim.
Okay, may I ask you this? May I ask you this?
Your ban got lifted. Get over it.
Oh, sure.
All right, enough.
I'm so fine right now. Okay.
Right. Well, there you go.
So the thing is, Jackie, is that
it hasn't hurt you at all.
The thing is, Jackie, is that national security experts around the world have said that these sort of bans are the things that make countries less safe. It's not me saying it, it's actual experts, right?
They're the same national security people that would drive the people out of the Middle East instead of staying there, making sure they've got safe havens.
Let me just clarify. Are you saying that America is like Nazi Germany? I'm confused by that comment.
No, what I am saying, and to me, it doesn't sound like a complex statement at all. I said the people in Nazi Germany did not, most of them, believe in what Hitler was doing. But instead of protesting, instead of registering their displeasure, they simply decided to go along to get along. That is a very dangerous thing to do.
And is that happening?
And I was using that as an example of how dangerous that can be. And I'm making a point to the American people that if, in fact, you feel differently about what's going on, you should not be shut up.
Doctor,
you need to talk
no
about
one
it.
is being shut up in America.
What do
You're
you
on
think
Fox
political
News,
correctness
you
is?
write books, Newt talks, Stephanie
political
talks, I
correctness?
talk.
What is that?
I don't engage in political correctness.
What's
Maybe
the
you do.
example?
But, Doctor, these are your quotes. You said we live in a Gestapo age, and this is a quote, we're very much like Nazi Germany, and then you write a book about America the Beautiful. That seems to be such a contradiction.
What, did you read the book?
I have not read the book, no.
I rest my case.
Why?
You don't even know what the book is about.
The fact that I haven't read your book.
Because you're making these claims and then using the fact that I wrote a book to back up your claims, and you haven't even read the book.
I'm using the title of your book, America the Beautiful, and that's a beautiful phrase.
Did you ever hear the phrase that you can't judge a book by its cover? Do you know why people say that?
Maybe
because you need to read the book.
Then maybe you can't judge a book by the title. I don't know.
Can I respond to your submissions, because I wanted to directly respond. I was actually thinking about this coming here because I thought that it was going to be one of the coming questions. How do we even start to decolonize science? Because science is true because it is science, and what can you do? And my response to that was, if I personally were committed to enforcing decolonization, science as a whole is a product of Western modernity, and the whole thing should be scratched off, especially in Africa. So if you want practical solutions to how to decolonize science, we'd have to restart science from, an African perspective, from our perspective of how we've experienced science. For instance, I had a place for all the science people is, there's a place in KZN, in Mkabialingana, and they believe that through the magic, the black magic, we call it black magic, they call it witchcraft, others, that you are able to send a lightning to strike someone. So can you explain that scientifically? Because it is something that happens So I will finish. See, that very response is the reason why I am not in the science faculty. I did science throughout my high school years, and there was a lot of things that I just, but it's fine. But Western modernity is the direct antagonistic factor to decolonization, because Western knowledge is totalizing. It is saying that it was Newton and only Newton who knew or saw an apple falling, and then out of nowhere decided that gravity existed and created an equation, and that is it. For whether people knew Newton or not, or whether whatever happens in Western Africa, Northern Africa, the thing is, the only way to explain gravity is through Newton, who sat under a tree and saw an apple fall. So Western modernity is the problem that decolonization directly deals with, to say that we are going to decolonize by having knowledge that is produced by us, that speaks to us, and that is able to accommodate knowledge from our perspective. So if you're saying that you disagree with her approach, it means that you are vested in the Western and Eurocentric way of understanding, which means you yourself still need to go back internally decolonize your mind, come back and say, how can I relook at what I've been studying all these years? Because Western knowledge is very pathetic, to say the least. I, from a decolonized perspective, believe we can do more as knowledge producers, as people who are given the ability to reason or whatever is that people say we do when we think or rationalize. So decolonizing the science would mean doing away with it entirely and starting all over again to deal with how we respond to the environment and how we understand it. Thank you.